Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton commissioners address the 2017 millage rate for the county. We'll have details on if they approve a rollback. And the Fulton County District Attorney opens a new community prosecution office. We'll show you where it is. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton commissioners make an announcement regarding the 2017 millage rate. Now, as you may know, the millage rate, when applied to taxes, helps determine just how much you pay. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on this story. Brian?
Fulton commissioners knew that in order for the tax bills to possibly go out in October, they had to approve the tax rate at the September regular meeting.
The motion passes 5 yeas, 0 nays.
All right, thank you.
With just 4 commissioners present and 1 on the phone line, the majority of the vote was needed to pass the 2017 millage rate. Fulton's chief financial officer laid out the scenario for the proposed rate of 10.38 mils, which is a 0.7% decrease over last year's rate.
Based on this millage rate of 10.38 and some assumptions that we've made, one of which is that we would have a 90% collection rate. That's due to, in effect, the lateness of tax bills this year. If they go out in mid-October, then they would have a mid-December due date. And the 90%, I believe, is an aggressive collection percentage.
For example, a resident with a $250,000 home and a standard homestead exemption would save about $5 on their tax bill for the year.
I mean, where are y'all getting these numbers?
When residents all over Fulton County became outraged over the initial tax assessment notices they were mailed this spring with huge increases in values, Fulton commissioners then directed the assessors to modify the notices to the 2016 levels. That action delayed the tax bills from being mailed in August as they usually are.
The biggest impact this year is a result of the lateness of the billings on the actual collection percentage that we're projecting.
As Fulton commissioners approve the county's tax rate, cities and other taxing jurisdictions are also setting their own tax rates. The board is expected to ratify the Fulton County Schools tax rate later this month. Because the entire taxing process has been delayed this year, Fulton's tax commissioner is hoping to send out the bills in October, which is normally the month they collect the bills. No word yet on when a new tax collection deadline will be. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. Well, there is good news to share. More jobs are coming to Fulton County. Leading online global fashion and beauty retailer ASOS is establishing an East Coast e-commerce fulfillment center in Union City. Now, it will create 1,600 new jobs and invest more than $40 million in Fulton County throughout 2022.
E-commerce is a burgeoning industry nationally, and one of the requirements for these facilities is to be close in town to population centers. So Fulton County, being the largest and most populated county in the state of Georgia, makes us a natural location for that.
The new jobs at the fulfillment center will include positions in professional and operations management, basic operations engineering, material handling, and administration.
And what's great about ASOS as a company is that they're really invested in their employees. They want to create a great atmosphere, a great collegial atmosphere for the employees to work with. And so I think they're a great win, not only for the county, but for Union City.
In 2016, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners approved a 100% free port exemption for e-commerce fulfillment centers in Fulton County, one of the first counties in Georgia to do so, and the only one in Metro Atlanta. A new Fulton County District Attorney Community Prosecution Office is bringing justice into the community. FGTV's Dante Carter has more.
Fulton County District Attorney Paul L. Howard Jr. wants a community prosecution office in every Atlanta police zone on both ends of the county. And with this new office opening up here in Zone 4, it brings him one step closer to his goal. With the cutting of a ribbon, Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard and Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed officially opened the new Zone 4 Community Prosecution Office with other elected and civic partners by their side.
What we want to do is to reduce crime in this area.
Located in Gordon's Plaza on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Southwest Atlanta, prosecutors hope residents will use the office in the pursuit of justice for both the community and the state.
When we get done with ML King, we're going to have the most beautiful ML King Jr. Drive of any city in the United States of America. $41 million is being invested on this corridor.
The Zone 4 office is one of 7 community prosecution offices opened by the Fulton County DA. All but 2 are in zones patrolled by Atlanta police, while the other 2 are located in North and South Fulton.
But if we have people who are shooting other people, being involved in shootings, and are violent felons, we have to get them off the street. And your involvement in this community prosecutor program is essential for our success.
Community prosecutors are strategically placed in satellite offices across Fulton County with the hopes of working directly with citizens to reduce crime in their neighborhoods. This grassroots approach to law enforcement involves long-term, proactive partnerships among prosecutors, police, public and private organizations, and the community at large.
You cannot make changes in a neighborhood without consulting with the people who live in that neighborhood. That's why we're here, not just at the courthouse, but we're here to work directly with the community so that we can make the improvements that they want, not what we want.
So one office open, one more to go in Union City. Once that is complete, it will make 8 community prosecution offices in all in Fulton County. For FGTV, I'm Dante Carter.
Thank you very much, Dante. The board responsible for helping Fulton County residents land jobs talks strategy about the future. WorkSource Fulton board members covered a range of topics at their quarterly meeting, including personnel and finances. Representatives from U.S. Foods, local schools, technical trade schools, trade unions, and the business sector all make up the board.
Interesting thing about workforce development is these are federal dollars that come from the federal government. Particularly the state of Georgia get roughly $70 million. That $70 million coming to the state through the governor's office, Department of Economic Development, and then those dollars end up in our community.
The WorkSource Fulton Innovation and Opportunity Development Board supports a skilled and trained workforce and creates innovative programs. These programs serve the changing needs of employers and the business community.
This is a very unique opportunity where people in the community can participate on these boards. And as we participate in these boards, the idea is to make sure the community is involved with the stewarding of our resources.
The public is encouraged to participate in the strategic planning meetings as well. As of now, they are held quarterly, but the goal is to make them monthly. If you'd like more information, just call Workforce Development at 404-613-7944. Well, we've all watched firsthand with Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma what happens when disaster strikes. Well, if one happened in our community, would you be prepared? Well, September is National Preparedness Month, and Fulton County, along with the Department of Homeland Security, wants to increase the overall number of individuals, families, and communities that engage in preparedness actions.
The federal government designated September as National Preparedness Month in the wake of September 11, 2001, as well as the fact that September is a peak time of year for natural disasters. Their effort was intended to help citizens become more resilient to human-caused or naturally occurring disasters.
This year's theme, Disasters Don't Plan Ahead, You Can, encourages everyone to be prepared for an emergency or disaster, whether they are at home, work, business, school, or at the place of worship.
So really the hope of the whole theme is just that we'll all look at our own situations and make choices to improve our ability to respond to an emergency situation.
To join in the campaign and to learn more, you can log on to ready.gov/September. And still to come on Fulton Today, honoring a county official once known as the health commissioner. We'll explain in our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton prepares to host its first health walk in memory of a former county commissioner, and students who need backpacks get just the ones they wanted. Here's this week's District by District coverage. We began with Interim Chairman Bob Ellis, who joined the Fulton District Attorney in honoring the memory of a young man killed by a driver high on heroin. Commissioner Ellis and DA Paul L. Howard Jr. both serve on Fulton's Heroin Task Force. Well, now their group is called Isaiah's Working Group in memory of 9-year-old Isaiah Ward.
Very good discussion today with the working group that we've had here that have been operating for a while. They certainly brought us the idea around Narcan and naloxone and getting that in the hands of first responders, and that's been a very impactful thing that's been done. But I think today we sort of see, kind of the impact of the opioid crisis and how it hits throughout the county.
Interim Chair Ellis and DA Howard also presented the new Isaiah kits for first responders and law enforcement.
When they arrive on the scenes of heroin incidents, they can make sure that they are not exposed to fentanyl and other kinds of dangerous drugs.
We'll have more on Fulton's first Opioid Awareness Month later in the show. Save the date, everybody. Fulton is planning its first ever health fair in honor of the late Commissioner Joan P. Garner. In observation of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the walk-in health fair in memory of the former District 4 Commissioner is scheduled for Saturday, October 7th at 9 a.m. at the Oak Hill Child, Family, and Adolescent Center.
We started doing the walk for Commissioner Joan Gardner because she was the Commissioner of Health. And I wanted to think of some way to memorialize all of her great efforts and everything that she stood for.
In addition to the walk, participants will get valuable health information and have access to health screenings. Those planning to attend must RSVP. Former Vice Chair Garner was affectionately known as the Health Commissioner. She lost her battle with breast cancer in April. Meanwhile, District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. partnered with the Atlanta Hawks and the Lakewood Church of Hope to equip students for a good school year. Students in the Atlanta Public Schools Carver cluster received backpacks and school supplies while the supplies lasted.
Yeah, the crayons, the markers, the glue, that helps them with school if they don't have that supply.
The supplies were provided by the Atlanta Hawks Basketball Club.
I think it's wonderful to give back to the community. We spend a lot of money supporting them and paying for sporting events. It's good for the children to know that they are real people and that they can achieve their dreams and their goals also. So it's nice for them to come out and show them that they're real people and they care about the community.
According to America Promise Alliance, a student's ability to succeed academically greatly improves when students are equipped with resources for the classroom. And finally, in District 6, we take a look at the Adamsville Regional Health Center. There are a myriad of health services offered at the Adamsville Regional Health Center, including various health screenings, HIV and AIDS testing and counseling, and services for the Women, Infant, and Children program, amongst others.
We want to especially emphasize the daycare program at the Adamsville Center. When clients come for services, they can bring their children, and their children can be cared for in the daycare as they receive services. This is for, of course, expectant mothers, many of them who are coming to receive services from the WIC program. So we want to say thank you to all of the staff and to the leadership at the Adamsville Regional Health Center, and remind everyone that county services are where you live, not just on Price Street.
The center is located at 3700 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Southwest Atlanta. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And up next on Fulton Today, find out how not acting your age is vital to healthy aging. We'll explain. Fulton County launches its first ever Opioid Awareness Month campaign with a mission of saving lives. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has the story.
First proclamation is recognizing Opioid Misuse and Abuse Awareness Month, sponsored by the full Board of Commissioners.
With the stroke of a pen and then applause, Fulton Commissioners officially kick off the county's inaugural Opioid Awareness Month campaign with both a proclamation and a pledge.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Fulton County recognizes the importance of collaboration and resource sharing in fighting back against the dangers of opioids in our community, supports the Fulton County Opioid Abuse and Misuse Prevention Plan, and does hereby proclaim September 2017 as Opioid Misuse and Abuse Awareness Month in Fulton County, Georgia.
Fulton has seen the devastation firsthand here in the county with 154 opioid-related deaths in 2016. That was up more than 150% since 2010, and countless more are addicted to opioids and at risk of death. In July, Fulton Commissioners unanimously adopted an opioid misuse and abuse prevention plan. The prevention plan, established through a board resolution, provides a framework based on 4 key steps. Increase the number of drug drop boxes, introduce a crisis text assistance line, enhance education and accountability from medical providers, and launch a public awareness campaign.
Hi, I'm Fulton County Vice Chairman Bob Ellis. It's an epidemic, a crisis, one that's devastating families and communities right here in Fulton County. Heroin opioid addiction.
That awareness campaign started with the production of public service announcements involving law enforcement, community organizations, and commissioners. Fulton's district attorney, who is a part of the county's heroin task force, renamed the working group for a 9-year-old boy, Isaiah Ward, who was killed by a Fulton County resident high on heroin. Additionally, the DA, Paul Howard, and interim chairman Bob Ellis presented the new Isaiah kits that first responders will use when they have an emergency call that involves a patient suspected of being a heroin user. Fulton leaders are hoping that all of their efforts during this first Opioid Awareness Month will not only bring attention to the major epidemic here in the county, but will also bring solutions to the problem. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Thanks, Priscilla. Well, meanwhile, Fulton County employees lead by example when it comes to the all people are healthy strategic priority. Staffers from various county departments took part in a challenge by the HR team to get in 10,000 steps over the course of their day.
The 777 participants that we had participating from 34 different departments and walked a cumulative of 61,000 miles.
When the challenge was over, it was the county's Senior Services Department that took first place.
It went for 3 long months, but now we're all in pretty good shape. So we've decided that we will continue. We will continue with the health and fitness piece because it's a lifelong challenge for everyone.
It was difficult. It was very difficult because many times I would start my day off feeling tired, and I had to really push myself to exceed my own self-imposed limitations.
And as a bonus for participating, the county manager awarded everyone who properly logged their miles an additional 4 hours of vacation time. Man, I should have walked. Well, speaking of the Senior Services Department, it is Healthy Aging Month, but it appears that seniors are taking on healthy practices all year long. The annual Observance Month is designed to focus national attention on the positive aspects of growing older. And the mission is to encourage local-level healthy aging events that promote taking personal responsibility for one's health. With all of the county's senior programming, Fulton says it is mission accomplished.
It's really important for older adults really to stay engaged and again to focus on their physical wellness, their mental wellness, and their social wellness. And this just helps them age gracefully. It helps them to remain independent as long as possible. And it helps them to just enjoy life and continue to be such wonderful contributing members to society.
HealthyAging.net has 10 pieces of advice. Number 1, don't act your age, or at least what you think your current age should look like. Number 2, be positive in your conversations and your actions every day. 3, surround yourself with energetic, happy, positive people of all ages, and you too will be happier. To see all 10 suggestions, just log on to healthyaging.net. And up next, the Atlanta Fulton Public Library enters the virtual book club world. We'll explain how readers can get involved when Fulton Today continues. The dog days of summer are ending, but you can kick off the fall with a furry companion. For a limited time, the Fulton County Animal Services MVP promotion is offering a $40 adoption fee on all dogs over 25 pounds and on all cats. Depending on the type of animal, the age and size, that price is normally between $65 and $85. All adoption fees include spay and neuter services, vaccinations, deworming, microchip, and heartworm testing.
Studies have proven that people who have animals are actually thinner than people who don't, and a lot of that is just because they remind you to take them for walks and you're more active just keeping up with your pet.
With summer winding down, it's the perfect time to add a four-legged friend to the family.
Fall's a great time of year. The kids are back in school. Things have kind of slowed down from the summer. You're not traveling as much. So it's a good time to bring a pet home. And while it's cooler out, take some nice walks or hikes. Sit on some outdoor patios that allow pets. There are plenty in Atlanta now.
To learn more, you can log on to FultonAnimalServices.com. And finally, the Atlanta Fulton Public Library System has joined the virtual book club world. It's a part of a collaboration with the American Library Association's Book Club Review.
This is a book told from the points of view of African American women mostly. It's about love, it's about community and loss, it's about finding and making the family that you need.
Actress and library supporter Sarah Jessica Parker, from Sex and the City. Well, she's partnering with the ALA to serve as honorary chair. In that role, she will provide a selection of recommended titles throughout the year. Her first selection is No One Is Coming to Save Us by Stephanie Powell Watts. The Atlanta Fulton County Library System recently launched the first virtual book club through a Facebook group dedicated to resources for checking out the book selection. If you would like to join the virtual book club, log on to facebook.com/groups/AFPLS Virtual Book Club. And before we go, we want to remind you that we'd like to connect with you online. You can watch a replay of this show and any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. And be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.